It's another explorer, and it's time for some history lessons.
Of course, from Mr. Victor William Quashie.
You like the
He's
William,
of
eh?
course.
Yeah.
Let me say
All
this.
right.
Let me say this.
So let's talk about long ago on the different estates in Carriacou. What you remember about cotton? I see a cotton tree.
And he has a cotton tree right
that's
in
why
the
you
back
have to
there.
stay there. I put it there for a purpose because
Why?
I grew picking cotton
Oh, really?
because up to this present moment,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a piece of property that's in Victor W. Quashie at Mount Pleasant with a mango tree and so much of cotton was inside there.
Yeah.
Soursop, guava, sugar apple, you name it.
So with that property there?
It's inside the quarry there.
Oh, really?
After you pass away, Terry Thomas and them live inside it. Going in
Okay.
under the area there.
So you have plenty fruit trees? I love fruits, you know.
I've got, how you call it, I've got sugar apple tree in there.
Oh, really?
I've got soursop tree in there. And I have a big mango tree standing in the middle.
Yes,
The mango tree stands between me and my cousin because the property was 3 acre land and an acre and a half belongs to both of us.
That couldn't be in my days. You see, children nowadays, they doesn't raid fruit trees like long ago. Man, I would have making siding mines. Probably when I used to come to school in Mount Pleasant and passing through quarry, I used to raid them, you know.
Yes, there's 2 mango trees down there.
Well, look at that.
The one further
You must
up,
have a tamarind tree there too.
yes, the one further up
Uh-huh.
belonging to the Isaac family.
Okay.
That one is going further up under the bush.
Okay.
And the one lower down belongs to me still.
Okay, nice. So tell us what you remember about the different estates, the cotton. You used to harvest cotton and sell, or you was in England?
Let me say this to you. I could remember when we used to pick cotton and where the, what you call it, the flow is there now.
Cotton gin.
They were the cotton gin.
Okay.
And the museum, where the museum that was in the cotton gin?
Where flow is go right back.
Oh, okay, was the entire
They were the cotton gin.
That's true.
Owned by Bulling.
So the museum forms part of the cotton gin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So when you work it out, Carriacou Town hasn't developed a lot because that old post office they are there. They should knock the damn thing down because since I growing as a boy,
You remember it?
hold it. Since I growing as a boy, going to an instruction and I confirm that old stupid post office there. And so many people get has been boss of Carriacou and that they should knock that building down long time. And
So what used to happen
instruction.
inside there when you was a boy? You're talking about the admin building, the post office. And
Yeah, all
what used
lot.
to happen inside there? That was what?
All nonsense is what beside it, man. I call it
You can't
nonsense.
remember.
Nonsense is what beside it. Because that building in that town, it should be changed automatically. Because the way that the bank is there now, that place was owned by a cousin of mine, they call him Solomon Quashie. He died in New York.
Okay.
Okay.
And he sold it over because that area from where the bank is to that other big building all was belonging to him.
All right.
What do you remember about the lime estates?
And the lime as well. Now, all Granby from the Lively Pond well go back to right up going up Candice. You got called apart the Candice because after you leave Candice, you get into the Quashie property.
So
British belongs to the Quashie property. That's 120
with all the
acres
ruins
inside.
up there?
Wow.
All were there in the back of British. They belong to the Quashie.
You know about the ruins in the back there?
I know a lot in the back there because
Up on top of the hill?
all on top of the hill there
Yeah?
belong to the Quashie. Right? We should call the Tibli.
Tivoli.
That's the name we used to give it as boys.
Yeah.
Call it Tibli.
Is there a reason why?
Well, to be fair and square, this same Paul Kent had from Granby Pond, well here, go right up in this to Bung with the Macintosh, you know.
You know your stuff, you know.
I am born yesterday, you know.
That's true.
Let me say this to you. It's only now, my partner, people don't work garden in Carriacou. All them places were cultivated.
Yeah, heard so.
Lime tree was in one section we Kent have, and all people used to work garden. Sometimes one person have 2 lots of land working. When they finish this one, they go to the other one. What Carriacou we come now? We don't have nothing now.
Yeah, we ain't got nothing now.
We don't have nothing now. So,
Trees take over.
as far as the concerned, we are black people, but we have some black leaders. They're pushing the people down than trying to lift the people up.
Yeah.
I ain't saying anymore. You already know.
Of course.
In there, hold it right there. So let's talk about, you know about the ruins on top of the hill. One of them, was it a mill?
Yeah. No, on top of the hill, no. That one was a building they had there, a wall building. When we leave here going up to Candice, that they had a wall building there.
There are a lot of buildings, like 10, 11 buildings on top of the hill there.
On top of the yeah, they have some building in the Quashie property where slave people were living across.
Right. Yes.
Now,
They call it a slave pen?
only let me come back to you.
All right. I hush.
We have a well down there we call Sisiri. That is our well. They call it Sisiri.
That's the one by the tamarind tree.
The one by the tamarind tree. That's where I used to water my cow and etc. And all that area down by Sisiri there was to be cultivated land. People were working garden to feed themselves. All down there were cultivated.
But there's just sand there.
It started there now because the people that them were working lands in Carriacou, they are all dead. The generation will come afterward. Everything will come in on a plate. Don't laugh. I'm telling you knowledge. They're not working. Now let me say this to you. This little island they call Carriacou here, we can feed ourselves and feed our country, because what I'm going to tell you now, we used to ship things from Carriacou to St. Vincent and all them places.
Yes.
And now they're better off than us.
Of
What we
course.
used to ship there?
We should ship what you call it, food stuff there, as well as with groundnut, potato, and all the things.
I wanted to hear you say groundnut.
We're going to St. Vincent.
Of course.
What is happening now, we can cultivate them things and have trade with them place now.
Miss Robertina said she used to go up there to sell tins of groundnuts.
Thank you very much. Well, she's not telling lies, she's telling the facts.
Hey, you know who is Robertina?
Pretty boy Johnny, you know. He knows everybody.
You know your mommy too, eh?
Yeah.
Let me say one thing, partner. If them who come in now, the younger ones who come in now, and buck themselves together, they will be able to feed themselves just now. You know?
No, of course.
Because the country and them who providing for you wouldn't leave their people starving and feed you.
And feed you.
Come
No,
on, man. Come
that's
on.
true.
You see,
That is
we have
so
some
true.
leaders here now. They got to get back to the drawing board and tell the young ones who come in and whatever it is, we got to be able to feed ourselves, because we cannot afford to buy things into the country and we're not exporting nothing. What we want to bring it in? Come on. I ain't going to school, you know, my dear. Don't look at me cross-eyed like that. I ain't going to school. I just, it wisdom will come in my head. I ain't learned nothing.
But you went to Mount Pleasant School?
No, I ain't going to down school. I ain't going to
You
school.
said Mr. Nicholas Brathwaite.
Yes.
That was your teacher.
Yes, but I ain't going to school. I stay by the road.
So when you go to school, you're lying. You go online.
You never meet school.
So listen, in Grand Bay, where the estates in Grand Bay, down by the
By the well.
great yes,
By the
great
well.
house.
By the
By the
well.
well.
That was a great house.
Yeah.
You know what used to happen across there? I see a mill. Was that what?
Yeah.
Sugarcane mill?
Wait a while. In Grand Bay there, they
By
had
the road, there's some
they had
grains.
that a big house by the road there. And,
Yes.
And that building,
What was it?
I experienced. Well, they said Bakra, so they call them white people Bakra.
Bakra.
Bakra, so live in a village, not
Bakra?
Yes,
Yeah.
not black people. They call them.
So they owned the Grand Bay estate?
They owned the Grand Bay estate until Mr. Kent, Paul Kent, would have bought it and take over the lot, and then with all the lime. And then what really happened there is the people from Karakuya within Granby and different other people, when they go to Aruba, when Aruba open, and they go to Aruba, most of the people in them buy the portion where they used to work.
Okay. I heard there's a cornmeal something by the Mount Pleasant School. You know about that?
A cornmeal, I think they had a meal somewhere in the back, in the back of the school there.
Yes.
But all them things they don't know how you call it now.
So, was there at any point in time a sugarcane estate?
No, they had no
sugar cane in Granby?
No sugar cane in Granby.
So, you had lime and
Cotton.
cotton.
Lime and cotton.
Lime and, well, cotton.
My experience is lime and cotton. My experience never sugar cane,
Okay.
lime and cotton. Because we had lime field all down the bottom there, go back from the well,
So
go
where
right back.
he processed the lime where in Crookston?
Yes. And the rest what process what they used to have the rest in Dumfries there.
Dumfries.
Because I could remember as a boy.
So you used to go and pick up lime?
No, I had more work to do than pick up lime. I had to mind my sheep, my goat, and my cattle.
And cattle.
Yeah.
I never gonna pick up nothing.
So
Because I could have carried on by minding my sheep, my goat, and my cattle.
So
Because I gone as far before I go go away to mind fowl in the back of
no wonder why he has so much of them in the yard.
my grandfather placed in British, and had two dogs, one named Erie, one named Black Pup.
You remember that?
I remember that,
I can't even remember my dog.
and I will say this to you, my friend. The watch house is in the area, the fowl house is there, and those dogs were to leave up there when I go up there and come down here with me, but they're going back and sleep up there, you know?
Yeah.
They're not sleeping down here.
They're watching over the animals.
Proper training,
Proper
proper
training.
training. You have to train you what you have, you know?
Of course.
You used to play Shakespeare Mass, and when you're out in the field with your cows, you're reciting. You know about that?
When I start playing Shakespeare Mass,
Hey, you are Shakespearean?
I am
Give me a speech.
a tough one.
I say, brave boy, give me something.
Let me say this to you. You have a book there, did?
What I
I
say,
have
book.
one they call Wherefore Rejoice What Conquest Brings You Home. That is the one how to kill me, boys, and them with you.
Yeah.
When I start that one, I say, oh God, Victor, come in again, boy. Victor, come in again. You see, half of our guys, they're playing mass today. But, my friend, they're not saying this picture is supposed to be. They're cutting it.
Yeah.
And they
You
just
know why?
Why?
Their head ain't big like yours. Your head could retain things.
Oh, you mean they're big like mine? What?
They had
Why
bigger?
they big like mine? Oh, you mean they had no big like mine? Well, they should retain more of me because they had more small, so they should take it in to bring it out.
Yeah,
Ain't it?
they're not retaining. Yeah. Okay. Right, so tell me about it. So, you used to play Shakespeare Mass.
Yeah.
When you're in the field with the cattle, you used to be reciting.
Well, let me say this to you. I used to play Shakespeare Mass.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go over to my grandparents' place at British Estate, and I blast one, all my out of the air because
Really?
I was so dangerous
So you was
with
hero?
with the voice. Yes. I was so dangerous on my voice that if I go to Mongrel where I have cousins, my father have a lot of relatives living up there. They were so, God, Vic, we yelling you down there. Why you playing down there? You playing mass down there? I say, well, I ain't playing mass. I exercising my voice because when Tuesday morning come, I want to be a tiger in the place.
What used to happen long ago when you played Shakespeare Mass?
Well, when we played Shakespeare Mass long ago, those that not up to standard, they don't know no speech. We call them PO. What we used to have, the king, the first king, the second king, and the peacemaker. But I will say this to you again. When you are the king, you are the last man to be on the gravel. The peacemaker had to be the first man to be there. And if he don't, if he can't get himself there to accommodate all them who coming in, if you have 3 or 4 coming in, because what I see happening in Mongrel up to now, I ask myself question. Them guys who say we know me as the ball, what be in that game to say to me, Vic, things changing like hell every time. I say, well, let me say this to you. When I play match in Grand Bay here, the peacemaker bring himself on the gravel first. The second king follow. And then Peru go afterward.
So, and the other mass, oh, the pair was those who, okay.
The other guys, we call them Peru. But the peacemaker is the first man to go out there. When you hear the peacemaker go out there, the second king answer and he go out. But the king himself is the last man appear there.
Do you know the significance of the king? Why? Because the Shakespeare uniform has a crown, and I'm hearing of a king.
Yes, well, let me say this to you. The king is the man who have most speech in the brain to come and deliver in the road. That, because when the king come out there, then you find a bigger crowd will come because they know they have more movement.
Okay.
Plenty of movement.
Okay. You know how that role came about? Or why? Or it was always like that?
That rule come about. As I said again, I grew as a boy, and we had a guy they call Owen Lang. We had a guy they call A. Lang. They be up the top. Next, far from where my grandparents and them live. The other one they call Clive Blaise. He lived down by the junction down there. Could you remember that? We have one they call Anderson Blaise. We call that one Chicken Speed because he has so much to move. so which means they said I have so much in it. I can't give you all. I have to go back up because because as I say it again, this little area we call Grand Bay and Mount Pleasant. We had top guys here, you know. We had top guys here in everything. But at the same time, this third generation I call them. One thing they're studying is to smoke dope and make stupid.
Long ago they used to fight in Shakespeare, I hear that, with brass knuckle and everything.
No, anything when it's to fighting is when hero from up here, let's say Dover, Bogle and all, Moncton and Granby, when they go and Mount Royal, they go and fight with Van Rai in town.
So good fight?
Good fight. Some of them go in brass knuckle and fight because the weakness that because the other Harman tree right in front of the police station there now. I could remember the boy climbing the almond tree to watch the man on the ground.
And that almond tree is still there?